Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's a doubleheader post-fight for UFC Fight Night Poirier versus Hooker. A quick little recap, and then pre-fight for UFC 251. So, quick little rundown of the last main card. In the catchweight bout, we had at 150 Julian Rosa versus Sean Woodson, submission Darce choke, round 3, great fight. Then we had a welterweight clash with Takashi Sato versus Jason Witt, TKO punches, round 1, 48 seconds. Great, that was a great finish. Then we had a middleweight clash with Brendan Allen versus Kyle Daukaus. Very dominant win. I think the judges had it just unanimous decision, but it wasn't all 30-27s across the board. And I thought Brendan Allen easily dominated 2 of those rounds, and possibly even one of the third. Then in the heavyweight division, we had Maurice Green versus Gian Villante. This one I was worried because of Gian Villante's wrestling. I thought he was going to try to utilize wrestling against Green, but fortunately for Green, he didn't, and or at least not as much as I thought. And Maurice Green got submission arm triangle choke round 3. But this was kind of a back and forth fight that who knows where it was going. And then in the welterweight division, we had Mike Perry versus Mickey Gall. I'm eating my words on this one because I thought Mickey Gall was going to just dominate and out-grapple Mike Perry, but Mike Perry looked great. And I got to give major props to Mike Perry's performance, and he wins 29-28 across the board. I don't know what fight they saw, because I had, I believe I had Mike Perry winning all 3 rounds. He looked very dominant. But yeah, the judges had a 29-28 across the board. Then in the lightweight division, Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker. This one, I believe, was like the first 2 for Hooker I had, and then the last 3 for Poirier. So the judges, for the most part, got it 48-47 on 2 of them and 48-46 on another. Anyways, good performance from Dustin Poirier. And yeah, that was the main event of the last UFC card, and let's do a pre-fight rundown of UFC 251 right now. So, okay, so let's see. We got to kick off we have Masvidal versus Usman in the main event for the welterweight title. But yeah, we have 3 title fights, and to kick off the main card, we have a women's flyweight bout with Amanda Ribas versus Paige VanZant. I'm going to go with Ribas by 2nd round submission. I think Ribas has the tools to finish Paige VanZant and look spectacular doing it. Paige VanZant, talented veteran, fought in Invicta FC and UFC. And she's a tough, durable UFC veteran, has many fights in the UFC, and but I think Ribas is on another level, and I think she gets it done here. But Paige VanZant does have a fighting chance, so I'm going to say Ribas, 2nd round submission. Then in the women's strawweight division, we have Jessica Andrade versus Rose Namajunas. I think Rose is going to avoid making sure she doesn't get caught this time. I mean, she got slammed the last time, and I think she's definitely going to be more aware of that, and I think she's going to get it done, and I think she's going to win unanimous decision, 30-27. I mean, she was en route to win that first fight. In this rematch, I think she gets it done by decision, just on strikes, keeping the distance, keeping the range, and just wearing out Jessica Andrade. Then in the for the UFC bantamweight title, the vacant bantamweight title, we have Petra Yang versus Jose Aldo. And I'm going to go with Yan on this. I think he gets it done by, I'll say he gets it done by knockout. I think he eventually wears out Aldo and finishes him in the 3rd round. Then, and Aldo could shoot for takedowns, but I don't know how successful he'll be in them. But I think Yan has good takedown defense enough to avoid that. And I don't think he'll even really have to use that. I think this fight stays standing, and Yan gets done by 3rd round knockout. Then in the in the co-main event in the UFC featherweight division, for the UFC featherweight title, we have a rematch with Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway. I got Volkanovski winning unanimous decision, outpointing Holloway, taking all 5 rounds. Maybe Holloway wins a round, but I think Volkanovski gets it done by decision. Then in the main event for the UFC welterweight title, we have Kamaru Usman defending the title against BMF champ Jorge Masvidal, and yeah, it would be interesting to see Masvidal win by some flashy knockout, but I think that Usman gets it done by his wrestling, and like Colby Covington said, I think he ragdolls Jorge Masvidal. No disrespect to Jorge Masvidal, but I just think Usman's wrestling's on another level, and I think Usman gets it done by unanimous decision due to his takedowns, and Masvidal will be doing just enough in his back to stay alive each round, and Usman wins 50-45 unanimous decision. So there you go. There's my picks for UFC 251. Stay tuned, as always, in coming time for my post-fight show. And until then, see ya.